My friends, Soul Tribe reading time. I'm starting my morning with you. I'm going to come back this afternoon and read some of that book, The Inner Work, but I had some time this morning before I have some other things to do, so I just wanted to come on and start a reading. It's very dark here. I know you can see how dark it is. It's very dark. I hope you guys are all doing well. The energy is really intense right now. I spent half of my day in bed yesterday. And then I spent the other half of my day organizing my space, which felt really, really good. So if you've been hesitating on organizing your space, I know that it can take, well, if you're like me, it can take a lot to get started. But once you do it, it feels really good. I organized all my cards. I got stuff up on my wall. So I feel good about that. And I needed the rest, clearly. But anyway, I wanted to come on and I thought I'd do the oracle cards this morning, and then power of technology, you won't even know that I've been gone, but I'll come back this afternoon and read some of that book. So I felt called to keep going with this inner child deck, and it's getting thinner and thinner. It's getting thinner and thinner because we've used it in the past 2 Soul Tribe readings, but I just felt called to get it again. I wasn't called to another deck today, so I'm just going to keep going with this one because I think healing the inner child is a very important part of the healing process. So, it's so dark and gloomy here today. Oh my goodness. So let's see what you need to hear today. I moved my camera, like I used to be surrounded by tarot cards, so I could only sit in this small little space, and I was very used to where my camera was, and I'm a Taurus, I'm a fixed sign. I like things the way I like them, and I don't like change, so it feels a little weird to be sitting in a slightly different spot. I know that may seem weird to other people, but it feels a little different to me to be sitting in a slightly different spot. But anyway, so let's see what you need to hear today from the Inner Childhood Healing deck. This deck is getting thin. This deck is getting very thin. So I'll get the bottom of the deck energy like I normally do, and then we'll shuffle out a few cards. And then, like I said, I'll be back this afternoon, but you won't know that I've been gone. I'll be back this afternoon with the next chapter of The Inner Work. I don't know if I'll read the whole chapter. I can't remember how long this chapter is. Oh, yes, I will read the whole chapter. That's fine. So, let's cut the deck. Take a deep breath. I needed that rest. I needed it. Disappointment is not the end. There is hope even in the darkest of nights, and that reminds me of Lord of the Rings. I didn't even look at what number that was. 10. Wheel of Fortune energy. So 10. I had a few of you telling me, you sound so tired. You look so tired these days. And yesterday morning when I woke up, I wake up at the same time every day. Yesterday morning when I woke up, I just couldn't, I was really struggling. So I just stayed in bed for half the day. And then, like I said, I spent the other half of my day organizing my space, which looks very nice now. I wish you guys could come over and play with tarot cards. Like, I look like I have a tarot library. I should just show you my shelf. So I have this shelf now, and you can see all of the tarot cards, and I filled every available shelf. So when I was doing it, I was like, I wish my soul tribe could come over and play with tarot cards with me. That would be so much fun. Anyway. So, disappointment can be a difficult emotion to experience, and afterwards it can be hard. Whoa, I'm not even showing you the card. How rude of me. How rude of me. So there's the card. Oh, there's purple flowers in that card. I forgive myself for my imperfections. That's your affirmation. Love it. That's a good affirmation for Soul Tribe. I forgive myself for my imperfections, and guess what? Nobody's perfect, and anybody who says they're perfect is lying. So, Disappointment can be a difficult emotion to experience, and afterwards it can be hard to have hope again. It's okay to be disappointed. Disappointment is an aspect of life that is inevitable, and being human is a messy journey full of twists and turns. We do the best we can with the knowledge we have, but not everything turns out as we hope. In truth, no disappointments or mistakes make us any less of the beautiful, wonderful people that we are. If you have pulled this card, it might be a sign that the fear of disappointment is hindering your path. Practice courage and acceptance. There is always hope, beloved, and happiness is waiting for you just ahead. And I actually, it's a Lord of the Rings tattoo. I mean, it's not it doesn't look like a Lord of the Rings tattoo, but I know you can't see it because I can't bend my arm that way, but I got "There is always hope" tattooed on my forearm. All right. If you feel fear around disappointment or have experienced disappointment, then it might be good to practice developing acceptance around it. If we are unable to accept that a disappointment has occurred, it can cause prolonged pain. By avoiding the reality of our disappointment, it may feel as though we are protecting ourselves from pain, but it will ultimately hinder our ability to go after what we desire in the future. Try to accept that disappointments will come and go, and know that you are strong enough to try again. Do not let disappointment or the fear of being disappointed stop you from living your glorious life. Responsive journaling prompt. When you think about disappointment, how does it feel in your body? Do you experience feelings of anxiety or fear? Ask your inner child how they feel about disappointment and ask if there is anything you can do to help them feel more accepted and loved around disappointments. Oh, I have to listen. Right underneath that card, there is hope even in the darkest of nights. Darkness. The card right underneath says, there is hope ahead. Have courage and take heart, for there is hope. I need to go for 1 minute. One of my children is having a moment. Just 1 minute. I'm back. If it's one thing I'm thankful for in this healing journey, it's the tools it's given me to deal with those type of moments with my children in a healthy way and not just like the way that my parents dealt with them, which was screaming. My kids had a miscommunication and they were both feeling very triggered, and I gave them the breathing exercise of 4-7-8. Breathe in because when your nervous system is triggered, breathe in for 4. Can you guys hear the rain? Everybody's going through it right now. Breathe in for 4, hold it for 7, breathe out for 8, and it really does calm your nervous system down anyway. You can see Phoenix energy. Seriously, that is one of the greatest gifts of the healing journey for me, is that I know how to help my children. Anyway. Can you hear that rain? Oh my gosh. So I got interrupted, but right underneath the darkest of times, or whatever it says, there is always hope. We have there is hope ahead. So I'm going to read that to you because I feel like you need to hear it. Have courage and take heart, for there is hope. 35. Whoops, the book is upside down. Jumping timelines. And my dad saw any form of complimenting yourself as being selfish and self-absorbed and what's the word I'm looking for? Arrogance. But can I just say I'm very proud at how I just dealt with that? Because the unhealed version of me just would have told them both to stop it. Anyway. There is hope ahead. Life is a journey filled with many highs and lows. Sometimes a low can be followed by another and another until all that is remembered are the low places. It is at these times that it may seem as though there is nothing left to hope for, and that all that remains are the ashes of what once was. If you have pulled this card, know that there is hope once more. Wonderment exercise. Now is the time to let hope in. There is so much good waiting for you ahead. There is a deep and divine love that is always present and always waiting to wrap you in its arms. You are held, you are loved, you are never ever alone. Reach out today into the divine and be held by love. Responsive journaling prompt. Is this the last page for this? Yes. How does it feel to let hope reside within your heart? Do you feel apprehensive when you think about hope? Hope is the belief in something that has yet to come. Even if we feel that we have no guarantee that what we hope for will arrive, it is far better to let hope into your heart than it is to keep it out. Keep hope alive. Keep hope alive. So let's finally shuffle out a card. Let's shuffle out a card. What does my soul tribe need to hear today? This camera angle is driving me crazy. I don't like change. I don't like change. We have run wild. Let your inner child run forth. Did I show you that one up close? It's having a hard time focusing because it's so dark in here. So let your inner child run forth. And look at the horsey with the butterfly wings. Focus. Please focus. I just had to use my manners. Upside down again. Run wild. There is a wild aspect to being a child, a sort of carefree naivety. Naivety? How do you say that word? Somebody help me, please. There is a naivety partnered with an intense connection to our senses. Children, my children, can feel things more deeply and experience the world more through their bodies than through their minds. They have little care for how things are supposed to be. While this is obviously not a place that we can continually reside in as adults, there is magic to be had in connecting with this mindset again. Playfulness exercise. One of the best ways to be wild is to be messy. Go barefoot in the mud, play outside in the rain. It's raining. Go play in the rain. Finger paint, splatter paint, or even body paint. Get a group of friends together and have a water balloon fight. Be the most unapologetically unproductive you can while doing something playful with your body. Find pleasure in this wild abandonment and let go of the notion that you are supposed to act a certain way as an adult. Fucking right. Your inner child will be delighted and thrilled to run wild with you again. And I hate when people say that. Like, you're an adult. You shouldn't be acting that way. Who says? Who says that? I know who says that. The people who want to keep us stuck and programmed. Anyway. Journaling prompt. How does it feel to be messy? What does your adult self feel? What does your inner child feel? Is there anything stopping you from allowing yourself this pleasure? And then we have accept what is. The act of acceptance will bring peace. Acceptance of what is, without the veil of judgment, can help us find peace in the uncertainties of this life. If you have pulled this card, it might be time to practice acceptance regarding a certain aspect of your life, either for your inner child or for something that is occurring in your present moments. For both, the practice of acceptance will be the same. Acceptance exercise. Try to observe a painful or undesired aspect of your life without judgment. Non-judgment is the practice of suspending all beliefs and criticisms about how you or others should act, behave, or exist in the world. If judgmental thoughts or words encroach on your practice, allow them to gently fade away as you hold on to the mindset of non-judgment. Once you reach a place of acceptance regarding what is or what has happened, practice sending love to yourself in this space. Even if it feels a little forced, tell yourself and your inner child that you love yourself where you are and as you are. Tell yourself that nothing has to change for you to be worthy of your love for yourself. Responsive journaling prompt. Is there anything that you believe you or another deserve judgment for? If so, how might this belief be hindering you at this moment? All right, let's get another one. Let's get another one. One more. Well, one came out. I might read the bottom one anyway. We have set boundaries, claim your power, and know your value today. And that's been another, I just talked to my kids about setting healthy boundaries. And that's been one of the lessons that I've had to learn on this journey, is how to set boundaries. I didn't know what a boundary was until I was like 36 or 35, and I started therapy, and my therapist told me what a boundary was. I had no idea what a boundary was until then. So set boundaries. 32. Setting boundaries can often be an awkward and uncomfortable thing to do. No is a powerful word, one that many of us have been taught to shy away from. We may feel as though it is our responsibility to create happiness or pleasure for others by saying yes, but this should not come at a cost to ourselves. If you have pulled this card, then it is most certainly time to utilize the word no more frequently in your life. Self-care exercise. It can be helpful to understand what drains you, depletes you, or makes you feel used, particularly after you have said yes to something. Write down these answers and practice using the word no around which makes you feel used. We say yes for a variety of reasons. A sense of worth can be one. But beloved, know that your value is immeasurable and you deserve the right to say no. Saying no can be an act of self-care. Note, how to set boundaries can depend on the situation. Sometimes you will need to be firm in setting boundaries, and sometimes setting them in a gentle way might be best. Saying no does not have to come from a place of anger, but it is okay if it does. And it's so weird, I was just thinking about that. Like, I was thinking about the Queen of Swords. And for me, sometimes I need to, hang on. Not anymore, but in the past, I would have to hit my breaking point in order to set boundaries, and then I would turn into that Queen of Swords and set boundaries in anger. I've learned how to do it in healthier ways. I've learned to set boundaries before I hit that point, but it's also okay if that Queen of Swords comes out of you and you have to set a boundary that way. That's okay too. It does not have to come from a place of anger, but it is okay if it does. Don't be too hard on yourself if, a power higher than yourself, Queen of Swords, takes over and sets that boundary. Anger can be an indicator that we have been betrayed or harmed in some way, and it can be a catalyst for setting boundaries. Truth. Responsive journaling prompt. How does it feel in your body when you set boundaries? Does your inner child, how does your inner child feel when you say no? If saying no brings up any fears of being rejected, know that by placing boundaries, you are choosing yourself. We reject ourselves when we say yes to something that might be harmful to our well-being. And then I'm going to read the bottom one, and then I'll come back later and read chapter 8 for us. So connect to the eternity within. Let yourself be held by love. So that's number 9, my favorite number. Well, 33 and 9 have always been my favorite numbers. So, within us lies hundreds of worlds, thousands of lives, and millions of possibilities. We are infinite, stretching forever into the expanse of the universe. As beings of stardust and sunfire, we carry eternity within us. It is in our remembrance of our essence that we find stillness and a peace that extends past the borders of time. If you have pulled this card, it is time to connect with that eternity once more. Take some time today to go into your inner worlds and connect with the expanse of the divine. Wonderment exercise. Find a quiet place with minimal distractions. Light a few candles, burn some incense, utilize crystals if you have any. Turn on some uplifting instrumental music and go inward. Start by visualizing the love at the center of your being. See that love enveloping you, surrounding you with its warm golden light. Feel the heat of that love kiss you upon your cheek and squeeze you tight in its arms. Let yourself melt into this love and become one with the divine expanse of all that is and all that will be. Responsive journaling prompt. When you hear the word divine, what emotions do you feel inside of you? Is there something that might be stopping you from fully receiving unconditional love or experiencing the wonder of the divine? So, my friends, like I said, power of technology, you won't even know I've been gone. I'm hoping that by later it's a little brighter out. But I started my morning with you, so thank you for starting your morning with me, although you're probably not watching this in the morning. But thank you, because this Soul Tribe uplifts me throughout my day, so this will uplift me throughout my day until I come back to read the rest of that book. But I don't even know why I feel like I have to say goodbye to you, because to you, you won't even know that I've been gone, but I'm going to say goodbye anyway. I hope you have a wonderful day. Take care of yourself, and I'll be back to read that book in a little while. Bye. My friends, I'm back. I changed my shirt because I was too warm, but I also forgot I had a new deck that I was going to use with you, so I just want to get you an animal card to kind of go with this Soul Tribe reading. So let's get you an animal card. I pre-ordered this deck, and I meant to use it with you earlier, but I completely forgot, and I just jumped into that childhood wounding. So let's see what you need to hear. Maybe we'll get 2 cards, because this is a collective Soul Tribe reading, so we'll get 2 cards in case you don't resonate with the first one. Just 2. I'll set a boundary. 2. I'm also experiencing, I just did a reading, and I'm experiencing a little bit of Phoenix energy that's dissipating, so yeah. So, what advice do you need? This is Animal Spirit Oracle by Leah and Droic. And look at the cover, it's an elephant. Elephants are my favorite. I lie, I have lots of favorite animals, but elephants are definitely one of my favorite animals. I have a lot of elephants in my room, a lot of elephant statues. I have, behind my bed, I have this huge, is it called tapestry? I don't even know. But it's a huge elephant behind my bed on my wall. One more shuffle. And I'm not going to take the bottom like I usually do. I'm just going to shuffle 2 cards out. So what messages? Oh, this is one of the reasons I bought this deck, is because of this fox. So let's see what you need to hear from this Animal Spirit Oracle. We'll get 2 cards. So what does my lovely Soul Tribe need to hear? 1, 2. Flamingo, balance, harmony, beautiful. 22. Balance and harmony. And we have the beetle, creativity and inspiration. So that's 28. And look, it's brighter out now. So let's start with flamingo. 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 Balance and harmony. Balance is not something you find, it's something you create. Flamingos are often found walking gracefully in shallow waters, embodying a sense of harmony and balance. With their calming presence, flamingos remind us of the importance of finding balance in our lives. They teach us to stand tall and grounded while maintaining a sense of flexibility and adaptability. This card encourages us to embrace both the yin and yang aspects of our existence, finding harmony between action and stillness, strength and gentleness. Through their vibrant pink feathers, flamingos inspire us to cherish our uniqueness, I love that, and express ourselves authentically, I like that too. Be authentic and unique. While still finding connection with harmony in others, they remind us that true balance comes from honoring our individuality while also recognizing our unity with all beings. Affirmations and hard mode, do it in the mirror. Say these affirmations to yourself in the mirror. I honor my needs and priorities, maintaining a healthy balance between work, rest, and play. I embrace both the light and dark within me. I live in alignment with my values and purpose, creating a life of harmony and fulfillment. Beautiful. And then we'll read you the beetle. Creativity, inspiration. The desire to create is one of the deepest yearnings of the soul. Oh, it's on page 69. Magical, yin and yang. Beetles, resilient little creatures with diverse shapes, colors, and behaviors, offer profound lessons about creativity and inspiration in life. The beetle card reminds us to embrace our own unique qualities and talents. With their ability to thrive in various environments and climates, beetles teach us to adapt to changing circumstances and find creative solutions to life's obstacles. Beetles inspire us to explore new possibilities, think outside the box, and unleash our creativity to overcome challenges and achieve our goals. Beetle motivates us to find beauty and inspiration in the world around us. From their intricate, why am I having a hard time saying that? Patterns and vibrant colors to their fascinating behaviors and interactions, beetles remind us to appreciate the smallest details of the natural world. Beetles encourage us to open our eyes to the beauty and creativity that surround us, sparking new ideas and igniting passion in our life. Affirmations. My creativity knows no limits, and I embrace the endless possibilities that lie within me. I trust my unique creative vision and express it with confidence and authenticity. I am a magnet for inspiration, attracting fresh ideas and insights with ease. All right. So I'll probably get that deck again for us just because it's so pretty. But let's read chapter 8 of this book. I hope you guys are having a good day. Practicing the inner work. Using awareness, personal responsibility, and inner work to review our unskillful or frightened reactions, we become more adept at turning habitual reactions to balanced responses. These moments are very exciting and gratifying. Bishop John Earl. The purpose of the inner work is to realign yourself with love and joy in every new moment, and therefore live in an awakened state as your true self. The first step to actualizing this is to become aware of any shift away from inner peace and gratitude first and foremost. Remember that your true self is in silent bliss of existence, so anything other than divine presence is the ego editing your reality. Whatever pulls you out of this divine contentment is often what we refer to as a trigger. A trigger reveals a limitation in our unconscious programming and is our first clue on the path to freedom. As a caveat, where this concept does not apply in rare instances of abuse or any form of direct violation, in which case the first priority is securing physical and emotional safety. However, most triggers occur in our everyday mundane moments of life and reveal opportunities for self-examine and introspection. Each time we are pulled out of peace, my dogs are saying hello. Each time we are pulled out of peace, we must turn our gaze away from the scenario and instead look within ourselves with curious eyes. For some of us, For some of us, dissatisfaction may arise first thing in the morning with the sounding of the alarm clock. As soon as we wake up, feelings of stress and frustration regarding our to-do lists may immediately come to our attention. For others, bitterness or anger may arise suddenly when our partner says or does something we deem inconsiderate or annoying. Or perhaps joy leaves us when an unexpected bill arrives, reminding us of a perceived burden. Whatever the initial fall from peace may have been triggered by, we must move our attention away from the circumstance and become more interested into why we are even bothered to begin with. What belief is behind the trigger? What is the story? The purpose of identifying triggers is to connect them to a root program belief that is not serving our highest self. In doing so, we reclaim our power and authority over our responses in life. For example, let's say your partner or child does something in a public setting that draws unwanted attention and you become embarrassed or anxious, therefore falling away from a peaceful state. I'm spitting a little. Without the inner work, you might feel tempted to reprimand them or shame them with guilt. This is the typical auto response of an unconscious program of embarrassment and feeling unlovable. The program seeks to perpetuate itself by blaming other people or circumstances for its discomfort while avoiding taking ownership that the program itself is the issue. How we react to triggers is very telling as to what program we might be running on. If we reprimand and degrade another, we probably struggle with shame. If we judge another, we most likely tend to harshly judge ourselves and therefore struggle with guilt. Essentially, every time we are triggered, we are being invited to break free of an old program that is limiting our joy. Apply the inner work, and this exact same scenario can become a golden opportunity for healing and transformation. With practice, rather than blaming someone else for embarrassing you, you will instead inquire as to why you were so easily embarrassed. This inner analysis may reveal an unconscious part of yourself that still struggles with self-acceptance and self-love, which then might spark curiosity as to where you inherited this self-rejection in the first place, consequently revealing a memory of a parent shaming you as a child for embarrassing them. And thus, the moment you first covered yourself with a blanket is discovered. The color of the blanket just happens to be rejection. With this kind of awareness, you can now decide for yourself to take the layers of shame off, knowing that this limitation was projected onto you and does not need to be endorsed any longer. Once separate from it, you can finally feel freedom in your own skin. With the inner work, everyone becomes our teachers, and all triggers become opportunities to heal. Everything that irritates us about others can lead to an understanding of ourselves. Carl Jung. With this type of awareness about yourself, there arises an actual choice to let the program continue or choose something different. Without awareness of the themes of consciousness, programs, or triggers, there is a limited freedom and lack of choice because we remain focused on the external scenario and never look inside ourselves for the solution. Without realizing there is a choice in how we experience reality, we remain obedient to the voice inside of our head, forever finding ways to validate the very programs which keep us trapped. It is with this new heightened awareness of ourselves that the gap emerges between each situation and our response to it, thus allowing for genuine free will and decision. By becoming aware of our ability to choose our inner perspectives and beliefs in every moment, we reclaim authority over our lives and exercise our spiritual will to go beyond the ego's patterns of behaviors and rewrite the root program. I don't know why I'm out of breath. Using the same as above, I think I need to learn how to breathe while I read. Using the same example as above, with the inner work, you would feel embarrassment arising, and rather than becoming it, you could observe it. The inner narrative changes from, this is so embarrassing, I am so embarrassing, to a feeling of embarrassment is coming up, but I choose peace. I am loved as I am. I can never be embarrassed, and I am always doing the best I can. I am perfect, whole, and complete. I embrace myself and love myself. Anyone's opinion of me has nothing to actually do with me. When the mind is disturbed by negative thoughts, one should dwell on their opposites. The Yoga Sutras of Patanjali 233. I really do need to learn how to breathe while I read. After affirming this new narrative, breathe into this new outlook. Notice how much better it feels, how empowering it is, and how much more loving and true it feels. Settle into this new person you are becoming. Your transformation in these everyday moments is real and not to be brushed off as insignificant. True change is in the simple, small moments of life. There is nothing grandiose needed. All genuine healing comes from consistent small moments that accumulate to make a powerful, lasting shift in awareness. Every time you consciously choose your new narrative over your inherited programs, you are literally becoming a new person biologically, mentally, and spiritually. By uprooting and replacing old programs, you institute a new pattern of approach to your life, thereby altering every aspect of your life, such as levels of success, happiness, and love, and feelings of connection and purpose. Gradually, the old programs will stop being triggered because your mind will know they are no longer a viable option. Imagine a program being uninstalled or deleted from a computer. Thus, with the old program removed and the new narrative established and reinforced, the new program will take root, and consciousness can move on in its evolution. This is how all true evolution and lasting change takes place. Seriously, I need to learn how to breathe. There are only 3 simple steps to the inner work process that can be practiced throughout everyday moments. There are only 3 steps to the inner work process that can be practiced throughout everyday moments. Become aware of the trigger, connect them to a root program belief and theme of consciousness, then uproot and replace it with a new narrative of a higher perspective. Step 1, awareness of the triggers. The first step of your healing process is to become aware of any time you fall from a state of peace and contentment and ask yourself, what exactly triggered such a change? Clearly identify the thoughts, feelings, or actions associated with the situation making you uncomfortable. What is arising? Take the focus off the external circumstance and focus purely on what's going on within you. Give it a name. Anxiety is arising. Craving is arising. Insecurity is arising. Whatever trigger you identify while examining yourself, look at it objectively and take note without judgment. It is helpful to observe the body and the mind's behaviors and patterns impersonally. Remembering the impersonal nature of your inherited ego removes unnecessary judgment about it. Have courage to take a look at your triggers with the eyes of the observer, just witnessing all that being human entails. Awareness is the first step in the healing process. Once you identify a trigger, you can identify the root program belief that generated the trigger. Step 2, identify the root program belief and theme of consciousness. Now that there is awareness around the trigger, you can begin the uprooting and healing process. First, reflect on the trigger you have identified, then become curious as to what this trigger is actually revealing. What deeper belief is being ruffled and brought to the surface? Instead of following your mind down the rabbit hole of blame and rationalization, inquire as to what the trigger says about yourself instead. Can you identify any patterns with this particular thought, feeling, or action? Have you experienced this trigger before? Is this connected to past traumas or memories? Does it get triggered often? Start to connect the dots. Remember, nothing is isolated. Triggers will always reveal deeply rooted beliefs about your life and who you think you are. Avoid blaming your thoughts, feelings, or actions on the current situation, circumstances, or other people. Use I language instead to take the focus away from the external and into the internal, thus exposing the theme of consciousness you are occupying. The external trigger did not make you fall from peace. That's not an affirmation. Where was I? It may be an uncomfortable or even painful situation, but your response to the trigger is always your free choice. Now is your chance to implement honest self-inquiry of your own reactions to the trigger. Without self-reflection, you will continue to focus on the external event and never reveal the true source of your suffering, which is much deeper and entirely internal. You can't remove a tree by trimming its leaves. You have to dig out the root. It's important to note that finding the root is not to perpetuate blame or victimhood further. It is simply to help you understand that all negative root program beliefs are inherited, limited perceptions from past wounds that are still influencing your present. Once the root is identified, it makes it easier to let the story go and replace it with something you'd like to experience now, thus allowing the possibility to truly change your life and experience the present moment free from the influence of limiting root belief programs. I'm just going to start a new part so it doesn't cut me off. How the heck did that happen? I just saw a video pop up that says, we're 3 months deep into 2025. How the heck did that happen? 3 months, wow. So, the trigger. Anxiety is arising. Root program belief. I believe the worst case scenario is going to happen to me. I've been hurt in the past and now I'm assuming I'll keep getting hurt. Theme of consciousness. This must be coming from distrust. Trigger. Craving is arising. Root program belief. I believe I will only be satisfied once I get what I want. In the past, I coped with my vulnerabilities by indulging in food, materialism, drugs, alcohol, or sex, and now I am assuming they are the source of my confidence. Theme of consciousness. This must be coming from inadequacy. Trigger. Competitiveness is arising. Root program belief. I believe I am not liked or loved unless I prove my worth. I felt inferior when I lost, or I was overlooked in the past, and now I am assuming that if I am not the best or the winner, I will not be loved. Theme of consciousness. This must be coming from insecurity. I'm having a hard time breathing and reading at the same time. Once a root program belief and theme of consciousness are exposed, the next question is, do you want to continue the narrative or rewrite it? Do you want to continue to live in the wounds of rejection, judgment, overwhelm, loss, distrust, inadequacy, violation, or insecurity? No, I do not. Whatever theme of consciousness is revealed, if it is bringing you suffering or limitation, it is time to let it go. The third step is all about the pause between the situation and your response to it. Breathe into the gap. You do have a choice to respond differently than you have in the past. It is within this gap that you can actually make a conscious choice to reprogram and restore the mind back to the theme of true freedom and lasting happiness, its original pure nature. If a belief does not feel like the most loving perspective you could take, then it is best not to indulge in it and choose differently. Leave your old program in the past and refrain from bringing them into the present. Release the old root program belief with a new narrative that is in alignment with your true self. Every passing experience of your life is another chance to turn it all around. You don't have to go another minute carrying the baggage and limitations of your past. Trigger. Anxiety is arising. Root program belief. I believe the worst case scenario is going to happen to me. I've been hurt in the past and now I'm assuming I'll keep getting hurt. Theme of consciousness. This must be coming from distrust. I know I already read this, but it's saying it again. The new narrative. So now it's including the new narrative. It is also possible that the best case scenario will happen. My past does not define me. I will always be okay and I am being guided. All perceived setbacks are actually working out for my benefit in the long run. I trust and believe in the goodness of life. Anything is possible for me. Trigger. Craving is arising. Root program belief. I believe I will only be satisfied once I get what I want. In the past, I coped with my vulnerabilities by indulging in food, materialism, drugs, alcohol, or sex, and now I am assuming they are the source of my confidence. Theme of consciousness. This must be coming from inadequacy. The new narrative. What I desire is actually within me. I'm tired of my cravings controlling my mood. I am ready to make a change. I will break free of this. I am free. I am whole. I am complete. I am disciplined over my impulses. Trigger. Competitiveness is arising. Root program belief. I believe I am not liked or loved unless I prove my worth. I felt inferior when I lost or I was overlooked in the past, and now I am assuming that if I am not the best or the winner, I will not be loved. Theme of consciousness. This must be coming from insecurity. New narrative. I am always loved unconditionally. There is enough love and happiness for everyone. I recognize and am thankful for my connection to the universe. Truth. Sorry, a little affirmation popped down and I had to read it. There is enough love and happiness for everyone. There is no actual competition to be me. I have nothing to prove. I do not need to earn love, for I am innately loved. Love is my natural, effortless state, and it is within me. Every time you follow through with this process, you are being reborn anew. As you consciously change your internal responses to your life, your brain and body will follow the spiritual will's intentions. Trust the infinite power of your consciousness that aligns and molds your entire experience of your physical reality. With time, the brain's neurochemistry will begin reconstructing itself to match the new theme of consciousness you are endorsing. The stronger the attachment, the longer it may take to rewire, but it can be done through consistent effort. The inner work is a contemplative lifestyle practice that brings powerful change through everyday mundane moments that hold infinite potential. Nothing extravagant is necessary. Your ability to change, evolve, and adapt is within your hands in every moment. Every moment. Each time you embrace your new narratives with courage and trust, the entire universe shifts to reflect back your newly awakened self. With every conscious redirection of your focus away from your past programs, you are resowing the fields of your consciousness and harvesting a new crop, thus bringing forth new root program beliefs and therefore thoughts, feelings, and actions of your liberated self. This process of awakening can be gradual or instantaneous. It's all a matter of your faith and ability to let go and surrender resistance to remembering who you truly are. And that was the chapter. So the next chapter, chapter 9, Healing the Wounded Themes of Consciousness. Accept responsibility for your life. Know that it is you who will get you to where you want to go, no one else. Les Brown. I can breathe now. I don't know why I couldn't breathe when I was reading that. I was forgetting to stop and breathe. I don't know why. But anyway. So, my friends, thank you for spending the day with me. I felt like I spent my whole day with you because I started my day with you and then I was ending my day with you. But anyway, as always, I am sending you lots of love and light, and I will talk to you soon. Bye.